What's up, guys, and welcome back to Lincoln, where if you've been paying attention to the first few frames of this video, you'll have already noticed that we have made a massive sale. We have sold Barbero Haedo. To be honest, his name is probably the main reason I sold him, because it's just it is pronounceable, but I'm just a bit of a moron. Anyway, we've sold him for £138.6 million. 130. I got an offer originally from Real Madrid for about 97, 98 million, and I put in a counter offer of about 140, and they said no. They just stopped at that point, and then Dortmund came in with with an offer of 97, and I countered them with that exact offer, and they just went, okay, that's fine, we'll do that. So I got 138.6 million for him. And I didn't really want to sell him, but when an offer like that comes in, I couldn't really say no to it. So he is very high rated, and he was good. But I felt that the money that I was getting for him, I could do more with the squad than he offered in just himself. So I think all in all, it was a good piece of business. We did, however, then go and splash out on Adrien Silva from AC Milan for £70 million. So he is our replacement striker. He offers something a little bit more different. We've got a lot of pacey strikers. We've had a lot of strikers who have been skillful and pacey, but Adrien Silva offers us something a little bit different. He offers us some sort of just physicality up front, a bit of strength. He's got some amazing stats. I'll show you in a second, but it cost us 70 million, so about half what we spent on, or what we got from about him, right? Half what we spent, or what we got for him, we spent on Adrien Silva, and that is our new striker. We also, well, that's not what we were I was expecting, but anyway, Ndidi has also gone to Man United from Dortmund for 50 million. Probably some of the money they spent on him getting that recouped. But anyway, he's somehow made his way around to Germany, and now he's off to Man United. So good luck to him. Right. Let's have a look at the squad, because the signings did not stop with Silva. We also signed Diawara. He was actually our first signing. Now, if you remember back to last week, I said that I was looking for a midfielder who has high energy and who just will not stop, basically, and just a sort of just utility player, just runs around like absolute mad and breaks up play. And I think we've found it with this boy. So Diawara, we signed him. He was at Napoli, so we signed him from Napoli, and he I can't remember how much he cost. I think it was in the region of about 45, 47 million, something like that. But as you can see, he's got 92 stamina, so he just keeps going. And he also has some pretty good sort of technical stats. Nothing amazing, but technical stats are not bad. Defensive stats are really good. Slide tackle and standing tackle, both 85 and 86. So very good sort of defensive-minded player, and his defensive work rate is high, and he's also got a medium attacking work rate. So yeah, pretty happy with that boy. He just does not stop. He'll just run around. He's actually, so far, we've played him in about 3 or 4 games so far this season, and he has been really good for us. Breaking up play, just does constantly getting around the pitch and just causing havoc. So yeah, happy with that signing. And we also signed Mangala Sarr from I can't remember. I think he was at Liverpool. I think we spent 34 million plus Konza, who was one of our centre backs, but to be honest, he was getting a bit sort of I don't know the real word. He was a bit rash, really. He I've had a lot of times where I've given away penalties, and it's just him making stupid tackles. And it was I mean, to be fair, it was me making stupid tackles. I put him in that position and told him to tackle, but it was tackles that he should be winning the ball, and he ended up just completely missing it and wiping out the player and giving away a penalty, and it happened far too often. So to be honest, I wasn't playing him that much, and I was playing that Ben Klukas boy a bit more. So I decided that we might as well try and get as much money, or as much out of him as possible. So we gave him away as a part exchange for Sarr, who, well, I mean, just the stats themselves really tell the picture. I mean, his defensive stats are just ridiculous. He's no slouch. I mean, he's 75 sprint speed. It's not great, but it's not completely. It's not John Terry level, put it that way. So for a centre back, not too bad. But he's physical, 85 strength, 84 jumping, so he should be able to clear a lot of stuff. And yeah, all in all, looks pretty decent. Also got the ability to play as a left back if we really need that. But yeah, high defensive work rate, which you would hope for in a centre back. But yeah, all in all, pretty decent. And that is about all the changes that have happened. So yeah, that was pretty much it. We might be losing Dujan Sterling. I accepted an offer, but nothing's happened yet, and we've only got 10 hours left. To be honest, I wouldn't really be that against him not leaving. I accepted the offer and then kind of questioned myself whether it was a good idea or not. So we might lose him, and we might have to try and find somebody rapidly at the last few minutes of transfer window to try and find another right back. So that is a thing that might happen. But yeah, this Furlan boy that we signed as well last January has come on quite a bit. He's up to 80 rated now, and he's to be honest, I'm not really missing Barredo or Barbao or whatever his name was. Not really missing him at all, because this boy's come in and he's pretty much taken up the position and done a good job with it. And now Silva's come in. Hopefully he can do as good a job as Furlan was doing at filling the boots. But as you can still see, Diawara, we played him for about 3 or 4 games, and he then just went and got completely done. And to be honest, he got completely done, and then I continued playing him for about 60 minutes, took him off, and then it turned out he was out for 3 weeks. So, you know, he shouldn't really be like able to play another 60 minutes after being taken out and still have to be out for 3 weeks. Anyway, that's kind of annoying. So he's out for another, I think he's got 2 weeks left until he comes back, which is not too bad. It could be a hell of a lot worse. And yeah, we've also got this centre mid who's doing pretty well. I might actually try and get him loaned out in the last few hours of the window, which would be I think that would be probably the best. I think the same goes for Nunes. Got him back from loan, and he's really good actually. He is actually really, really good. It's just a shame he's got 1-star weak foot, to be honest. I've played him quite a bit in pre-season and stuff like that, and he's actually been performing really well for us. So I might just keep him in the squad just for the sake of it, and see what he offers. Like, because he's a bit different to what we've got at the moment. I mean, he's kind of the same as Furlan, to be honest. He's not too far off what he does in his like just agility and stuff like that. He's not massively different. So it's kind of touch and go whether I decide to sell it, send him out on loan or not again, but we'll see what happens. To be honest, there's a lot of other players here that could all be sent on loan that we really do not need to be taking up our squad spaces, because there's just an absolute ton of them that really do not need to be here. But that's pretty much the squad. That's pretty much the squad we've got to go forward this season. Hopefully we can do decent things. So far, we've been doing pretty well in the league. See if we can find the table. Italy did, in fact, get into the final of the World Cup, but we lost. We lost the final, unfortunately, of the World Cup to France. I believe it actually went to penalties. I think it actually went to penalties, and we lost to France. So that's an unfortunate circumstance. But even still, we managed to get to the final with Italy, which is not bad. Their squad is good enough to have made it to the final, and we did get that far. As you can see, we are sitting top of the Premier League after three games. Stoke as well up there, and 3 games, 3 wins. We haven't actually conceded a goal yet, which is probably telling of how good our defence has become this season. Hopefully it stays that way, because last season our defence was what really let us down. Even though we still won the league, our defence was nowhere near as good as it should have been, and hopefully this season we can actually tighten that up and keep some more clean sheets than we managed last season. But that's pretty much all there is to chat about. So we'll fire through the last few hours of transfer deadline day and see if anything just ridiculous happens. I'm not expecting too much, but we'll see what happens. Alright, that's not too bad actually. So the offer for Dujan Sterling has been retracted, and it was Aston Villa that were trying to sign him, so they've decided not to go ahead with it. So that, to be honest, saves me a headache, because then it means that I don't have to go and try and find another right back with 6 hours left on the clock. So that's probably not a bad outcome there. Plenty of money being spent. I'm not sure who it's been spent on. Kasper Dolberg has moved from Villarreal to Juve for 61 million. It's a hefty deal. I don't know how old he is now, to be honest. Surely he's not that old. Must be about like 22, 23, something like that. 24. So yeah, he's not massive. That's a pretty good deal, to be honest. 61 million for a 24-year-old Dolberg. That's all right. As you can see, that's the deals that have gone through. Most of them involving us this season at the top of the table, which doesn't happen very often that we make a deal at the top end of the transfer table. But As you can see, that was our sale of 138.6 million. And signed Adrian Silva for 70 million. Mangala Sarr for 32.5 million. Plus Konza, so I think Konza was valued at about 12 million. So all in all, about 45 million for Sarr, which is probably a bit more than I hoped to pay for him, but it's like, you know, I got it across the line, so I'm not that bothered about it. Rudiger has gone to Real for 48.9 million. It's pretty impressive. United have signed Tammy Abraham from Aston Villa. Don't know how he ended up there, but he's off to Man United for, well, near enough 50 million. Sassuolo keeping up the ridiculous transfer fees of signing Victor Lindelof from AC Milan for 44.5 million. I don't know where Sassuolo get this money from. Like, they never seem to sell anybody. Like, you never see like a sale that involves Sassuolo and them getting a ton of money, but you always see them spending a ton of money. So I have no idea what they're doing to get all this money. It's ridiculous. And that is the end of transfer deadline day. £414.6 million spent on transfer deadline day. We're about to go and play Scotland as Italy, which will be fun. Well, I don't really know. I mean, I'm an Italy manager, so I hope we win, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not that bothered if we lose. So yeah, we're in a actually pretty tough looking group, to be honest. We've got Spain and Italy. Obviously, Spain being our biggest rivals in this group. Russia, bit unknown. Sweden, I suppose we'll beat Sweden. Finland and Scotland. So I don't know. It'll be. I think we should get through this group. Shouldn't be a problem. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's probably going to call it a week. So some interesting signings. I'm pretty happy with the squad. Not that squad, but I'm happy with that squad as well. But this squad in primary, Kuzwik's actually gone up one more point in the last few hours, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, pretty happy with this squad. It's doing us well. Everybody's away on international duty, which you would expect with a team like this. So that is not to be well. That's pretty good, to be honest. Having a ton of players on international duty means they're all good. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy with the squad. And we've got decent depth as well. I mean, most of it's youth players, but there's not really going to be a situation where we've not got any players to play with. So yeah, it's looking good. But I'm going to call it a week. So if you've enjoyed this video, then give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well if you're new around here and want to keep up to date with all my stuff. Then hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you guys next week. So until then, cheerio.